Thank you to the gentleman from Texas. Okay. I'll just share a couple thoughts about this. I actually, think it's very important as we're going through this moment right now in our country, as we see protests continuing on throughout colleges, emphasizing the importance of peaceful protests, things that are done lawfully. And then I think it's also, and we don't probably spend as much time focusing on the good examples that come out of this. We have to be a nation of the rule of law. And you've seen excellent examples from universities across the country as well, taking a very clear, simple stance about offering opportunities for peaceful protests, but when you cross a line, you're going to be punished. We saw it from the University of Florida and others throughout the country. Those are things we need to highlight. Those are things that are important to celebrate, that we're navigating that tricky line of making sure that we have, the ability to protest. That's fundamental to who we are as Americans. And I commend those leaders. And so instead of just always, talking about all the negative that's coming from this lawlessness that you see in a lot of ways, I commend those leaders that are across our country at different universities that are making it very clear that they're not going to tolerate anything that crosses a line. And if you don't do that, you will continually see people cross the line. And now commencement ceremonies are being canceled. These kids families, parents, and kids and students have put countless hours into their education to getting to this moment. The commencement ceremony is one of the most special things that you can do in your academic experience, and to then give in to this, this overextend of their protest capability, it ruins the experience. I hadn't even thought about it until I was talking to one of my colleagues. This is the same group of people that probably had their graduations canceled because of COVID 4 years ago. And now they're going through a similar type of situation. And you're seeing it pop up across the country. And it's flat wrong. And we need stronger leadership. If we haven't shown that in the last few months from House of Representatives, from House Republicans, hearings that we've had, I think, what we saw with an inability to call out genocide for being against the code of conduct, clearly the wrong direction to go. And I think there was a nice recourse, and people lost their jobs because of it, as they should have. This is going to be another one of those moments that they're not doing enough to protect the silent majority on these campuses that want to attend class, that want to put their money to use in something productive. And the more that this type of nonsense continues to happen, you're going to see a shift away from these types of universities that aren't focused on what they should be focusing on, as preparing those young minds and those students for the next generation workforce. That's somehow lost in all of this, and you're seeing it. Proud to represent a state that does such a good job with higher education. We're not immune to protests and things like that, but we're doing as best as we possibly can to make sure that the rule of law is followed. I can't. My oldest son's 11. I can't imagine helping out with tuition one day and then not even be able to go to a commencement, or my son not even be able to get to class because a group of people that have no idea, that don't understand centuries and centuries of turmoil in a particular part of the region, that want to claim that a group like Hamas, who was elected 15 or so years ago, that has made it impossible for Palestinians and citizens of Gaza to remove them from power, and they have inflicted so much evil will on those innocent Palestinians that they want to ever be a position of supporting them. And it's fascinating to think that they've got it all figured out, that they understand Middle East policy and that they understand centuries and centuries of turmoil. Flat doesn't make sense. To be thinking about me as a parent and to have that and to have a university president not be able to move forward to continue on with the commencement is beyond me. So continuing on, I want to welcome and introduce and yield so much time as he may consume to the good